Hey everybody, this week I want to talk about the idea of three different types of risks. Plain risk, calculated risk, and then smart risk. What the differences are between them. That's my little puppy right here. And why it's important for us to look at what the differences are. So first, risk. Risk ultimately means it's an action without understanding the outcomes, right? So doing something with uncertain outcomes. And what it ultimately means typically with a risk is it's impulsive. Usually we haven't thought about the consequences and there are no plan to the risk. We're just taking a risk. We really want to avoid those type of risks, right? Well, in life and in business, it's really good to do a calculated risk. I think many of us have heard that before, right? And so a calculated risk ultimately is still a decision made. However, we have taken time to analyze those potential outcomes. What could happen? Weighing those pros and cons, looking at the odds of success. So calculated risk is when we do a little bit more analysis, look at the research, look at the data behind the decision that we're making. Maybe we're wanting to start a business or write a book or start a relationship or move to a new country or doing something. Okay, well, what are the pros and cons? What are the potential outcomes? And then looking at the risk and reward. What is the risk and reward? And does the reward outweigh the risk for us? Because sometimes it depends on you and where you're at. And then looking at strategies that mitigate the risk, right? So let's say you're wanting to start your business. Okay, well, do you have 6 months set aside for expenses? Let's say you're wanting to move across the country and move to another state. Okay, do you have a plan and another job, and looking at things like that you can consider? Now, the thing that I like to do is I like to think of what is something I call smart risk. This is calculated risk. However, it's aligned with our long-term goals. It's aligned with our core values and our strengths. So it's purposeful alignment. The risk aligns with our values and our goals. For example, calculated risk might be investing in a new car company or something like that. Could be great, but it might not necessarily align with what it is that you're trying to accomplish. A smarter risk for me might be investing in some online technology that allows me to deliver more online content to people that can share the differences between A versus B, and then build my own platform in that regard. It's aligned with my purpose and my value, okay? Timing plays a role in it, and making sure we're not jumping the gun or we're doing anything too soon. And then really looking at this concept of, are we innovating? Are we growing? And how it's going to help us grow is how I like to look at smart risk. So I wanted to share those differences for you. I know we're coming up on the new year and many of us are taking risks. We do want to start a new job. We do want to start or end something. We want to create a new business. We want to do something. And looking at it in a smart risk is the way to go. I have the article written down below if you want to check it out. And thank you. Thanks for paying attention to all these videos this year. I've really enjoyed it. And I will look forward to seeing you on stage or in the next video. Bye, y'all.